Hey man, so my check-in video for the week, I think week 18. Yeah, super successful training week in terms of numbers. Kind of trying to reflect on how I can kind of change my diet, just to feel like stress-free, but like I'm eating in a way that's supporting training. Right now, I'm just kind of eating whatever, which means it's inconsistent and. Sometimes I eat the wrong thing and it leaves me feeling like digestive issues. Basically, I just want to get back to simple ass food. So, kind of either next week, although Sarah's in Montreal, so it might be a more stressful week in terms of looking after Bella and working, etc. But if not next week, then the week after for sure, I'm going to get back to just simple, and to start, I'm just going to eat the same. At least Sunday through Thursday, just the same food. So kind of like a balanced diet, but just simple and the same. I know for some people that they find that harder than being flexible but tracking. But for me, I find being flexible and tracking just adds stress to making the numbers kind of match up at the end of the day. So by eating the same thing, I basically have to put the macros, kind of work out the macros once and then just adhere to it, which for my kind of mental space with food and nutrition, I just find that easier. So at least for now, that's kind of my plan. Outside of training, I guess everything's all good. Really loving kind of the challenge of raising a puppy. It's been really good, and she's really settling in, so sleep is not that affected anymore. And just have to kind of walk her a little bit more, which isn't a bad thing. Motivation for training, I'm feeling super pumped, and obviously we are 10 weeks or so away from competition, which kind of is making me really excited to get there and put up some big weights. So feeling really motivated, really happy with how everything's going. In terms of coaching, it's all good. I'm pretty full with PT right now, and I'm pretty full with programming right now. So basically, just time management is the main kind of struggle there. With programming, we're currently, or coaching rather, we're currently working on how can we be more connected to what our clients are doing, even outside of numbers. I listened to the podcast you did with Eric, and it kind of got me thinking to the fact that right now we're kind of providing tailored programming, and then the coaching is what I would class as coaching, the softer the parts and kind of communication with clients is happening not on a kind of routine schedule. It's just basically if they cross their coach in the gym, then we get a little bit of information from them. So I'm just trying to think basically how can we kind of communicate with them just like this, but in a way that works for them and is a kind of unique thing for us. So I just need to figure out kind of how we're going to do check-ins. But that's basically kind of my thoughts on coaching. I don't know if you have any kind of insights, maybe a TSA in the early days, kind of things that you tried that didn't work, and how you arrived at this kind of system. We're all coached by different coaches, Patrick's working with Mike T, which seems very much like he gets his week or his microcycle. He's doing emerging strategies, so it's the same for the full 5 weeks, and basically checks in with Mike almost on a month or 5 week basis, and they catch up on how the block went, do a block review, etc. So different to how we're doing it, with much more what will I feel more. You're a bit more connected to what I'm doing. But maybe that's not the case. And then Dan's just started working with Bryce K, who does weekly actual calls So they're all slightly different approaches. I'm kind of feeling like what would be best for us would be to do something more similar to what we do, with some kind of weekly check-in video that doesn't need to be our schedules aligning, because I see that to become much more would become much more like a full-time job. Like if I have to schedule 30-minute calls or 30-minute in-person sit downs with 25 clients on top of my 80 hours a month of PT, I think that's just going to get too much. So yeah, I'd be interested in your kind of insights on things that we can do to be more connected to our clients' journey, I guess, not program, but like where they are with their training, how much they're enjoying it, all the things that you outline in the initial kind of PDF that I received on check-ins. Like how can we get connected to that in a way that works for our clients and works for us. Got like a bit sidetracked there, but yeah, now going into my training videos. Really successful week. Highlights would be the top set of squats, which I kind of smashed like 235 for 4, very sub-maximal. My bench triple at 160, and then the deadlift 3x3s at 250 were like, feel like right now I'm in shape to beat all my PBs on the platform, and as the weeks go on, I can see that only getting better. Thanks for listening, and I look forward to hearing from you. Hey man, so here's my training footage for week 18. Started with squats. Very, very happy with this session. Definitely the little bit of kind of weight gain seems to be really helping my lifting in general, but specifically squat and bench press. So yeah, these are my warm-ups. 215 was my last warm-up. I moved nice and easy, and then I jumped up to 235 for my set of 4. It obviously felt hard because it is really heavy for me to do in this rep range, but super happy with how it moved, and definitely confident for 245 for 4 if we kind of start increasing the intensity. So really happy with how this went. And then my back offs, I was a little bit intimidated looking at the number on the spreadsheet, because I tend to be very good for one set, not so good at kind of repeats, but this moved really well, and just kind of concentrate on execution. And these were my 3-count pause benches. Pretty happy with how these went. Yeah, nice and solid. Nothing really to add. Caught my lighter deadlift day. Felt a little bit heavier than I sort of expected for such a lightweight. I think my hands were a bit tender still from the main deadlift session. So might use straps in further sessions, but still, super happy, super consistent, and went on to hit a big bench set that I'm really happy with. So yeah, video coming up now is the 160 bench triple. Probably could have paused them a little bit longer, but it definitely wasn't like touch and go. Really confident to take this as like a easy opener. Maybe it's even less than my opener should be. But yeah, really happy with how these moved. And then my back offs, 145, much better than the previous week, and yeah, a very good session. This is my volume kind of squat session, so 197 for 3 sets of 7. Pretty happy with how the bar moved. Could definitely keep going up on this. 7's extremely challenging. Definitely my least favorite session of the week, but I understand the value, and it's good to get the heart pumping and the lungs working. But yeah, super tough mentally. I just enjoy kind of taking on the bigger weights, lower reps, probably like every other powerlifter. But yeah, super happy with how these went. And then my closer grip bench didn't feel too good. My pecs were quite sore, I think, just from the previous day's training. But still kind of moving nicely. Never felt like I was gonna fail or anything. And then into my last session, which I've just finished, 3x3 250. I was pretty nervous about these deadlifts, but really happy with how they moved. And I don't see a big difference between how 250 moves today compared to 222.5 earlier on in the week. So that's super exciting and promising. Yeah, and really happy with how these went. This is my last set. Still comfortable. Obviously it's heavy and it's hard, but never in doubt. And then my bench, I did my single at 5.5, I took 160. Really happy with the bar speed and how it's moving, but not sure if I could really do, say, 6 reps with that, but I'm definitely happy with how it moved. And then my 3 sets of 7 at 130. Just trying to kind of move the bar quickly and rep it out a bit. And that brings us to the end of the video.